Dear children, welcome back to the online classes of biology. So, in the previous class, we have studied about the structure of excretory system. I have explained you the various parts of excretory system of our body, and also we have studied the functions done by each part of it. So, this diagram is also very important. You have to practice. Okay, and I have also explained you about the structure of the nephron, which is known as the structural and functional unit of kidney. Okay, nephron is known as the structural and functional unit of kidney, and their parts also I have explained, isn't it? What are they? Bowman's capsule and the tubular part, which opens into the collecting duct. Okay, and we have also studied about the glomerulus, okay, the renal artery glomerulus and the renal vein. In this structures only what happens? The urine formation. Okay, urine formation is taking place in where? In the functional unit of kidney, that is nephron. Okay, and I'm saying this again and again. What is the structural and functional unit of kidney? It's nephron. What is it? Nephron. Okay, so here only urine formation takes place, and then the urine formed in this will be collected, means by different nephrons. They do the same functions, and they pour the urine secreted by them into the collecting duct. Okay, and this will open into the kidney, and from the kidney it will be collected by the ureters. So the process of urine formation, we can study that in 3 steps. Okay, so this diagram is also important. You have to draw and practice. Okay, and urine formation, I told, it takes place in 3 steps. So they are the ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration means that is when blood passes. I told a branch of renal artery. Renal artery brings blood to the kidney, and then it branches into a number of small branches. Okay, that divides into a number of small branches, and each branch will enter into the nephron, okay, as a branch of renal artery, and that is to the Bowman's capsule. And then I told they again split and form a tuft of blood capillaries called the glomerulus. Okay, so this blood, when passes through this blood vessels or glomerulus, it will be under high pressure, isn't it? If you squeeze something with your hand, isn't it? You can see that if any water is left out, it will come out. Why? Because you are applying pressure there. So in the same way, when blood passes through this glomerulus, it will be under high pressure, and that filters, okay, substances like urea, amino acids, salts, etc. into the Bowman's capsule. Is it clear? That is, when blood passes through the glomerulus, what will happen? The blood will be under high pressure. So many of the components like what proteins, okay, then what salts, urea, amino acids, etc. will get filtered into the Bowman's capsule. Now it will be where? In the Bowman's capsule, isn't it? And from Bowman's capsule it starts its journey from here. Understood? And then as it moves down through the tubular part, 2 more processes are there, that is tubular secretion and tubular reabsorption. Okay, tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. So these 3 processes help in the process of forming what? The urine. What are they? Ultrafiltration, then second is what? Tubular reabsorption, and the last is tubular secretion. Okay, so these are the process by which urine is formed. What are they? First is ultrafiltration. So where it takes place? In the glomerulus. What happens there is, when blood passes through the glomerulus under high pressure, what will happen? Many of the components will ooze out into the into the Bowman's capsule. Understood? So from the Bowman's capsule, I told the glomerular filtrate. Now we cannot say it as urine. Now we cannot say it as the blood also. Okay, that is when this blood passes through the glomerulus. It will be under high pressure and some of the components will come out from the blood capillaries and it will be collected by the Bowman's capsule. Understood? Now, from the Bowman's capsule, this that liquid that is getting collected in the Bowman's capsule is known as glomerular filtrate. What is it? Glomerular filtrate. And that will start its movement from here. That is the coiled portion which is near to the Bowman's capsule, then down to the this part. Actually, this part is known as Henle's loop, isn't it? It looks like a loop and it was discovered by a scientist called Henle. So Henle's loop. Okay, so from this part it will move down and then it will be going like this and it will be going through the coiled portions and then it will be getting collected in the collecting duct. So by the time it reaches to the collecting duct, it will be having the characteristic feature of what? Urine. So reabsorption means what? When the glomerular filtrate passes through the tubule, some of the useful substance, okay, during glomerular filtration, okay, there was no all the things that is needed, that is not needed, like amino acids, salts, etc. might be needed by the body. So all that together got filtered. Okay, now during reabsorption, whichever is useful to the body, like what? Salts, okay, amino acids, glucose, water, etc. will be absorbed into the blood. Okay, through what? To the blood capillaries. Actually, I told the blood vessel which is formed by the union of this glomerulus, it is surrounding the tubular part. So from the tubular part of the nephron, some of the useful materials are getting absorbed into the body, means it will reach into the blood which is present in the blood capillaries surrounding the tubule. So this process is called tubular reabsorption. Okay, reabsorption means what? Again, otherwise what will happen? The waste material means along with the waste materials, this useful materials also will get excreted as urine, isn't it? So to prevent that, whichever are good for the body will be absorbed back into the body, and this process is called what? Tubular reabsorption. Now, it also contains some of the unwanted materials that was not filtered in the glomerulus region. So this will be going back from the blood capillaries to the tubular part of the kidney, means nephron, and that process is called what? Tubular secretion. So all these three processes, when it takes place, okay, by the time when it reaches to the collecting tubule, from the blood what will be separated? The urine will be separated. Is it clear? So this is the process of formation of urine. So I told you this takes place, or urine formation takes place in 3 steps. What are they? Glomerular filtration or ultrafiltration. Okay, then comes tubular reabsorption, where the components which are useful to the body is reabsorbed, and then the tubular secretion, where unwanted materials from the blood capillaries enter into the tubular part of the nephron so that it can be excreted out. So this 3 processes helps in the formation of urine. Understood? So in this way only urine is formed in the body or in the nephron. Understood? So about what all we have studied, that is in this topics we have studied about what? The parts of excretory system. Then we have studied in detail about the nephron and its structure. Okay, then I have explained you what are the processes by which urine is formed. Now next one topic is artificial kidney. Sometimes you would have heard people with kidney problems, they are undergoing dialysis, isn't it? So it's also known as what? Hemodialysis. So you know, if kidneys are not functional, what will happen? It will not be able to work, and that causes what? A very dangerous situation to the patient. So sometimes due to some infections or due to some injury or restricted blood flow, means enough blood won't be flowing to the kidneys. So all this may reduce the activity of the kidneys. Okay, so if it's happening like that, what will happen? That will lead or that will be affecting the individual's health very badly, and even it can lead to death. So in that conditions we can we can depend on the artificial kidney. So artificial kidney is actually what? Nothing but it's a device to remove the nitrogenous waste material through from the body. Okay, from the body the nitrogenous waste materials are removed through dialysis. Okay, so when you see an artificial kidney, it consists of what? It consists of some tubules. Okay, some tubules which are made up of or which are having semi-permeable membranes. Okay, so these are what? Tubules, some tube-like structures, and their walls, they are made up of what? Semi-permeable substances, and this will be suspended in a fluid. Okay, which is having almost same osmotic potential or pressure as blood. Okay, so only one difference is there, that is there won't be any nitrogenous waste. Okay, where? In the blood. Okay, so the fluid in which this tubes, which type of tubes? Semi-permeable. You have studied about semi-permeable membranes. Okay, so the tubes which are having semi-permeable membrane is immersed in a what medium? Containing what? Medium or a liquid which is having same osmotic pressure as that of the blood. Then what is the difference? There won't be any nitrogenous waste material. Okay, nitrogenous waste materials won't be there. Then from the patient's body, the blood will be taken and it will be passed through this tubules. So during this process, what happens? So as the blood passes through these tubes, okay, these tubules, the waste materials, okay, will be absorbed by the fluid which is present in this tank. Okay, selectively permeable membrane they are, means the tubes are made up of selectively permeable membrane, so the waste materials can diffuse easily into the solution. Understood? And the purified blood will be again pumped back into the body of the patient. Understood? So in this way what removes the waste material, but only the difference is what? In nephrons, tubular reabsorption is also taking place, but here there won't be any reabsorption. Understood? Reabsorption is absent. So in a healthy adult, the initial filtrate in kidneys is about 180 liter per day. Okay, but the volume actually excreted is only 1 liter. Okay, 1 or 2 means only a liter or 2 a day, means 1 or 2 liter in a day. So why this is happening? Because the remaining filtrate is reabsorbed into the kidney tube. So this will not be taking place where? In the dialysing unit. Is it clear? So like this, what the filtration means the waste materials will get diffused into the dialyzing solution, and then what? The purified blood will be pumped back. So in this way it helps in what? The saving the life of persons with diseased kidneys. Is it clear? So kidney transplantation also you would have heard. So one kidney can be, with one kidney one person can live. So if any persons are there whose kidneys are damaged, they can donate the kidney to the persons. Those who have got damaged their kidney can receive the kidney from any suitable donor. Understood? So by matching their blood and all other tests, okay, if it is successful, then what? The donor can donate the kidney to a person with damaged or deceased kidney. Is it clear? So this is artificial kidney or hemodialysis. Clear? Now let's see whether plants need to excrete the waste materials. Yes, plants also need to excrete waste materials, but when compared to animals, the excretion in plants is rate of excretion is less. Why? Because metabolic rate is also less in plants when compared to animals, isn't it? What are the major waste materials that are produced in the plants? Like carbon dioxide, water vapor, oxygen, etc. Isn't it? So they don't have any special organs, so they secrete or they excrete the waste materials in different methods. So carbon dioxide and what excess water, even oxygen. So oxygen also can be one waste material. Okay, so they can remove this waste materials through the stomata, isn't it? Stomatas are there in their leaves, and also there are certain lens-shaped openings called the lenticels. Okay, lenticels or stomata are used for the secretion of gaseous waste materials. Okay, and then some other waste materials, how they what they secrete or how they get rid of their waste materials. Some plants, they store waste materials in their body parts. Okay, so when this parts shed off, or when these parts get removed from the plants, they will get rid of the waste materials. Okay, it's like what shedding of the leaves. When the plants store the waste materials in the old leaves, when these leaves are removed from the plant, then this waste materials also will get removed. Then peeling of bark, okay, then falling of roots, etc. are some methods of what getting rid of the waste. Means they store this waste materials in these parts, and when they shed off, the waste materials also will get rid of. Okay, then some of the plants, they are storing their waste materials in the vacuoles. Some of them waste materials can be stored in the vacuoles. So you have studied plants are having large vacuoles, isn't it? So in this vacuoles they can store the waste materials. And some other waste materials like resins, gums, etc. can be stored in the plants, isn't it? So the waste materials can be stored as resins, gums, etc. and that will be economically important for human being. Understood? So they store in the form of resins, gums, etc. also. And some plants, what they do, they excrete the waste materials into the soil through the roots. Okay, they excrete the waste materials through the roots to the soil. Understood? So like this way, plants, they don't have any particular organ or organ system for the excretion of waste materials, but they adopt different methods through stomata, then lenticels, they excrete the gaseous substances. The waste materials can be stored in the vacuoles. They leave the waste materials in the leaves or their barks. So when they fall off, this also will get rid of. Okay. Then some of the plants, they store the waste materials in the form of resins, gums, etc. and this will be useful economically it will be useful for the human being. Okay, but they are not useful to the plants. Okay, then some other plants, okay, some plants, they secrete the waste materials into the soil through the roots. So all these are different methods by which plants get rid of the waste material. So today what all we have studied? We have studied the process of formation of urine. So I told by three different steps. What are they? Ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption and tubular secretion. Clear? Then I have explained you about the artificial kidney or hemodialysis. Okay, what is it and how it functions. Understood? Then I have explained you the methods by which the plants get rid of their waste. Okay, what are the methods by which the plants get rid of their waste? Hope this much is very clear to you all. So I'll be sending the notes also, and you will have to prepare the three topics for your pre-midterm. Excretion is not there. So you need to prepare nutrition, okay, then what, respiration, and then you have to study about the transportation for your pre-midterm. Okay, and what the life processes. Okay, so these topics are there for your pre-midterm exam. So prepare well, and in the live class we can discuss the next topic, that is the transportation is left for revising. So everyone please prepare that and come. And I hope you have written the notes that is sent, that is respiration and nutrition. So all of you please complete that also. I may ask you to read or show that in the live class. Thank you very much.